Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam. Welcome for Box 3 PC ACC Season 2 starts today. We're here for an endurance race at Suzuka. I am so excited. It's race day. I love race day. I love race day. I used to love 2 race days a week. Now I only love 1 because I don't have an Xbox anymore. Can't cover those, but those guys are doing great. Had a great race yesterday. Hopefully we're going to be broadcasting those races again soon. But we are here today for PC ACC racing after what was supposed to be a couple weeks off in between seasons. But for those of you who weren't here last week, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the drivers. I want to thank Will. I want to thank Huff for setting it up on such short notice. I want to thank everybody that came and watched, and I want to thank everybody who donated especially. We raised over $1,300 last week as a league, as a community, for the British Red Cross, specifically for their mission to the Ukraine. Absolutely fantastic. I think we did a great job. I think the entire community came together, did a fantastic job, and I want to thank everyone for that. So that is up front first and foremost as I get set here and get prepared for today's race at Suzuka. Again, we are kicking off Season 2, the arrival today. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you here. DT Bubs is in the room. Bare Necessities, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Bear is one of my favorite people in the whole world. And though not a driver, though not a sim racer, absolutely someone who I can personally, not as a representative of Box 3, but as a personal recommendation, can absolutely recommend everyone go and check out on Twitch if you're watching right now. Bubs as well, I gotta say, Bubs doesn't stream often, but that cat's fantastic. He's hilarious and fun to watch every time. Fun to play with too. One of my favorite folks. Bubs, I do want to show you real quick though. The new wheel's already on the CSL DD. There you go, bud. That's a metal QR now. So we're not going to have the same problems we had before. It is ready to go. But as I said, folks, we are here for Season 2 kickoff at Suzuka. I think we have a great season lined up. A lot coming up because not only do we have Season 2, let's talk a little bit about it. PC Season 2. First of all, starting today at Suzuka with an endurance race. It's an hour and a half. Okay, so we're going to be here for 90 minutes of racing once this kicks off here in just a moment. Thank you for the sub. Bubs, thank you for the sub as well to this channel. Love the support you guys show the league. But if you take a look there, our Pro Class champ this season will be winning a Next Level Racing FGT Light racing seat. Now, I've never personally been able to use this FGT Light. I will talk about the Play Seat Challenge because that's what I own. However, this is very similar and is going to allow, if you have limited space, this is what it's for, right? And a lot of guys drive on desks and things. I could never drive on a desk. I tried it. It didn't work for me. Like, I just couldn't get it to work. Maybe you can, but this is certainly a step up for that. Again, if you have one of those places where you don't have a lot of room, maybe you got to be able to put it away when you're not driving. This thing is just fantastic and will actually work for that. Silver Class champ, going to get a full car bundle set up from Coach Dave Academy, and our most improved driver, as voted on by the community, will win a one-track map bundle from Coach Dave Academy. So there's the schedule, folks. We're back every week all the way through May with endurance and sprint races throughout this season. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But that's not all. That's not all we have going on at Box 3. Euro Trip starts tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC. These are casual races, 30-minute, 15-minute qual, 30-minute races throughout all of Europe, starting at Donington tomorrow. So if you're not a member of Box 3, hit ! Box right there in the chat. That'll get you the Discord link. Come on over if you want to drive. If you don't feel like you're ready for league races yet, you don't really feel like you're ready to be on track with these guys that race hard, that's okay. You can come and join the Euro Trip and jump in and get a taste of what it's like without having it all on the line. These are casual races. So absolutely everyone should do that. And with that, let's get ready because we're going to be starting here very soon. I just got to check, make sure the server is up, which it's not. We're going to wait just another moment. Yeah, we're ready for the Beetle, Bubs. Let's get back to it. I got to get back on my, what's considered dirt road license over there at iRacing. As we wait for the server to come up, though, it's just a quick reboot. Make sure it's kicked and fresh for today's race at Suzuka. 90 minutes. This is not a track that I enjoy. I got to admit. I mean, you would think knowing how I am with what tracks I enjoy, you would think this would be one. It's got elevation changes and everything else, but the S-curves up front, we'll take a look at the track map once we get on the server here, but it's just not one of those tracks that I find myself enjoying very much. But that said, still a track that's out there, and it takes a lot of skill to pilot. And we're gonna get to watch these guys do it today. Hope everyone's having themselves a great weekend as we wait for our drivers to head out on track, and it bounced again. This is why we wait to switch over. This is why we wait. Something happened. Had to bounce it. Okay. Well, I do hope everyone's having a great weekend. Great time. One other thing I wanted to mention to everybody, and I don't have an overlay or anything for it. Nothing to really pop up there. Bubs, if you do me a favor, or Huff, one of you guys, !shop in the chat. I would very much appreciate you doing that. That's right. You want to rep Box3? You can do that now. Anytime you want. Right there it is. Box3 merch. You can do that now. Every dollar going back in to support the league, bring more races, more servers, allow us to do more hoodies, long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees, right? Tank tops, whatever you want. We got it. Socks. A lot of guys racing socks. A lot of guys need pillow for back support when they're driving in their rigs. There it is. So feel free to jump in there. If you want to rep Box3, more than welcome to do so. We would appreciate it because, again, every bit goes back into the league to allow us to provide more. That's what it's for. We're back on track now. Maybe. Nope, we're not. Something's going on. Bouncing in and out. Kinds of. This is why I should stay in a VC so these guys can let me know when to join. Red and white is fire. It's all fire, man. All done by Mr. Zap Brannigan, one of our drivers. He put all that together. I think the stuff looks fantastic. I've actually ordered a hoodie already. Hopefully that'll be here soon, along with, I ordered something a little different from another site, but hoping it gets here relatively soon so I can wear that for stream and show it instead of just a blank white hoodie that I'm sitting in here today. And I apologize for turning away from the camera, folks, but I'm trying to keep an eye on things. And now that died, so that's good. We got that going for. Yep, all the way out we go. Love technical. They're my favorite. Anytime you're streaming in front of a live studio audience, having those technical difficulties are always the best. It's just fantastic. That's all right. We're getting a race in today. Wait for this to kick off here. Apparently there are just a few server issues, so we'll wait a moment. Your pickage. Yes, I did. It is all set up, ready to go. I showed earlier, but QR1 is now on the back of that iron wheel. So no more snaps. QR light has been put away, hopefully forever. I'll hold on to it. You never know. But the 320 Alcantara is sitting over on the rig. I could probably go grab it, but it's a nice little setup that I got to put my button caps on yet and do my mapping and all that jazz. But I figured that would happen after today's race. Certainly not going to be doing it during today's race. I don't think y'all want to watch me set that up versus watch these guys drive. Going on here. Trouble with this. Have to come back up. Ottens, Butler, Kinney driving 3 wide for the whole race. Yeah, Ottens, doesn't he just crash 24/7? That's a little sketchy saying them guys are going to be 3 wide the whole race. Makes me a little nervous. Dab's Lovenasium, full of drivers. One would hope. Wait for this to come back up. Today's race kicked off. Let's go back and take a look, though. Again, I do want to look at that season 2 bumper again, because I know we talked about it, but the other thing I wanted to mention, I didn't have a chance to, or I kind of forgot about. You can expect an endurance series to be announced soon. We're looking at I believe, a 4-race and 6-hour endurance series. Huff Manic putting that together for us. Once we have dates set for that, that will be announced very soon. Again, 6-hour, 6-hour races. We're going to actually be sharing that amongst a few other leagues. We're teaming up with them. Not a part of season 1, something completely separate. So we'll be getting to that soon. And again, don't forget Euro Trip coming as well, starting tomorrow over at Box3 Motorsports. Nope. Oh boy. Good thing we got chill music on. Calm me down. As I try and get this up and going. Y'all hang out for 1 minute for me. Gonna be right back. Don't worry, we're gonna get this race going. All right, folks, looks like we are out. Folks are starting to pull out onto the track. Things finally coming together. That happens. Again, technical difficulties always happen. But it looks like we're ready. 10-minute free practice starting now, followed by a 20-minute qualification. And again, 90 minutes of racing at Suzuka today. Take a quick look at that track map. Right there, we see your boy Blue running up through those S's. Not an easy drive for anybody. Typical, very difficult to get through quickly, right? To be fast up through there. As we keep an eye on him up through. But Suzuka, a challenge overall. There's a lot that goes on this circuit that our drivers are going to have to contend with today. Those S's being one of those things. Not always fun. But so far today, 44 drivers on track. That is a lot of people. You know, Suzuka, not necessarily a small track, around a 2-minute run time for a lap, for a fast lap. 158, somewhere in that range. But anytime you put 44 drivers on track, different skill levels, different classes, it always makes things a little trickier. A lot of new faces. Rick Pixel out today. Saw him last week during the Ukraine fundraising race. Lee King McGee back with us this week. Sonic T Hedgehog returns as well. His Mercedes. Justine Scheffer back with us in the BMW. Remco Ottens returns. There will be one mandatory pit stop during this session. That pit stop will be, I believe, taking place during a 15-minute window in the middle of the race. Unlike most races where pits are open the entire time, guys can undercut, overcut as much as they want. A little more structured this time with a pit window, so we'll keep an eye on that. I believe that was the setup going into today's race. We'll see whether or not that holds. Tobias Gable returns. Clueless Geezer back with us again. Evan Silvares. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher returns. I told you, Humphrey came in the end of season 1. I believe was around last week for our Ukraine race, and great driver. Great to see him stepping into season 2 here at Box 3. Always fun to watch. James Bicing comes back. Nugget himself on track today at 556 Honda. Christoph Arts returning. A newcomer, Ryan Blanchette, joining us this week for season 2. Kevin Chalice. Stuart Pryor, another newcomer to Box 3 this season. Gerald Butz, Lamborghini. Chris Moses joins us. 80s. Tom Foose returns. Currently sitting off track, dropping back to the pits, but Tom back. Hard runner last season. One of our faster drivers at Box 3. Bob Sherrilton comes in. David Soul returns for season 2. Always good to see so many returning drivers coming back season after season. Josh Butler, another one, coming back to join us for another season. Xander Galvin and Alexis. You don't see too many Lexus this time. Just taking a look at the entry list. No, there is Kevin Huffman out in the Lexus as well. Hard to catch these guys in the pits, as I typically stay away from. Chief Blaze back for another season. That is one fancy Mercedes right there. Wow. It'll catch your eye even if you're not looking at it. So again, free practice only, a little over 3 minutes left to go, but let's take a look at some times these guys are setting. Will Green, currently fastest during the free practice with almost a 2-minute flat. 2 minutes and 8/10. Ryan Canopin returns. Currently sitting in the pits, but holding a 2:01.4. Couple 2:01s in there, quickly dropping into the 2:02s and 2:03s. But again, only a free practice today. Great to see Brian Canopin back and joining us. Esports legend, as your boy Blue would call him. Esports legend, Brian Canopin. The very sporty Box 3 livery. Yannick Kurtz returns, currently setting the fastest lap during today's free practice. Just nudging out Will Green by 1/10 of a second, so still above that 2-minute mark. Haven't seen anybody drop below it yet, but we do have a 20-minute qual up coming right after this. I'm sure we will see that happen. Don't forget to everybody watching today, if you are not already a member of this community and you enjoy sim racing, you want to jump in, you'd like to join a league that puts community first, we would love to have you. Exclamation box in the chat will get you that link, or it'll show up on its own. It's actually still there now. Hit that Discord link, come and join us. We are always looking for more drivers. We will run both PC and Xbox races. Now a total of 50 drivers on paddock today at Suzuka. There, Red? He is not. All right. Oh, you there? Barely hear you, man.
Is that better?
There you go.
Okay, microphone is out of place. One of those kind of records.
I see that. We had a little trouble with the server, huh? Still something was jacked up, I assume?
2 entries at last minute can cause...
Oh, monkey shines, shenanigans, you're saying?
Yeah. Huffman's a nice dude. All you guys who joined in the last hour should really appreciate that, because if it was me, you wouldn't have.
You know, that's, I mean, that, you know, we talked about that in the drivers meeting, is these guys, you know, same with the liveries, they come in at the last minute. So I get it. I understand the struggle, but happy we were getting up and running. And again, free practice now just coming to an end. We will jump into a 20-minute qualification. You're not racing, Red?
No, not this season. I'm only race selective ones. I'm trying to learn all this stuff so that I can get it set up and Huff doesn't have to do it or feel like he has to be the one to do it. So
gotcha. Okay. So just, we're only going to see you on track a couple times this season, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to concentrate on learning all this stuff so that
nice.
It isn't much different than setting the Xbox server, honestly. It's just a little bit more adjustments you can make.
Yeah, I think for me the entry list and everything is way confusing, and it'd be something I'd really have to dig into to make sure.
After somebody explains it to you, like I watched him do it, it's not that bad. You just have to watch somebody do it and go, oh, okay, that makes sense. It isn't that much work. You just have to know where to go to pull the information you need.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, Huff can do it in 5 minutes. It takes me an hour. That's just, I'll get it.
For now. Yeah, for now. That'll change, right? Bubs in chat says Red going to throw down the ban hammer.
No, nothing like that. I'm trying to make it so he can enjoy racing and concentrate on it like he hasn't been able to do today.
Yeah.
So.
And we do get him on track today, so that's good to see.
Hey, do you know what the stock, if you will, keybind is to access the broadcast cams from a keyboard? I don't remember.
I have not a clue.
Brian loses it. Oh boy.
Yeah, end of free practice.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out another time.
I'll tell you, Red. Let me go.
Every time I do this, I have to remember how to access the keybinds for that camera, and I can't even find it now. So.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to send you a message. Go. Because I'll tell you, with you having the triples like you do, this is actually going to get a lot easier for you. Or this actually becomes a lot easier when you have this. So.
Okay, cool.
Just shot you a message. That's what I use.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. We are now into qualification, and with, again, 50 drivers on track at Suzuka, it doesn't matter. 20 minutes is a short time to me for qualification when there are this many drivers on track. These guys have to get clean air and be able to set up, get everything out. Tracky141, hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. We found Box3 Motorsports. We are on track at Suzuka for a 90-minute endurance race today. Joined by Caleb Red Rider up here, and we're going to watch the races. Only problem you might have with that, Red, is you'll have to bounce your game because you got to edit that broadcast JSON to match whatever you want.
I'll take care of it throughout this week. I'm not gonna start with it today. I got too many other things to have to watch.
Yep, you're good, man. We got this. Rogerio Santos returns. McLaren. So a lot of newcomers to Box3 Motorsports with this season kicking off. The league has grown by leaps and bounds in the last 6 months, and this is absolutely fantastic to see. Again, we always see a fall off, right? A lot of drivers join for that first race. We get some fall off. Maybe by the end of the season, we're only running 30, sometimes down as low as 25, depending on holidays that hit and things like that. Not everybody can make every race, and we get that. But it's so good to see 50 drivers, and this is why I love the variety we're putting up as well with the Euro Trip, the upcoming Endurance Series. I talked to Huff today, looking in April, around in mid-April, of having a 24-hour endurance race. I can't wait. I'm going to cover the whole thing. He's like, no, you can go, you can go take a break during it and everything. I'm like, no. Sleeps for the week. Let's go. 24 straight. I want to do it. I absolutely cannot wait. The driver's already sliding off track. A lot of cars on the side of the road. Mr. Alex Cornfield having a little trouble through the chicane. So, Red, where are the pinch points at Suzuka? Where are we going to see people Bennett in the first couple laps?
I'm gonna say turn one start's gonna be rough. Probably rougher than Monza, just because everybody thinks they can go faster through there and might push a little bit into another car, and I'm gonna say that's gonna be an issue. I also think near the end, the high-speed left-hand corner that Brian's coming up on now.
Yep.
I think that could be an issue the first couple of laps and probably throughout the race, because you're going to have people that get a good run out of that. It's almost like a hairpin before it, and maybe catch a car right there and have to make a decision, and so does the person they're racing with has to make a decision.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Am I going to fight for this position, or am I going to try to live the fight to get it back?
And here we see.
I think that's going to be the issues.
That corner right there that King McGee just came through. That one, yeah, I mean, and it's a high-speed left-hand, right? Because you really don't brake coming through that corner. It's a downshift and a lift, and you should be able to hold that, provided you turn in time. But there's such a fine line there. If you turn in too late, you're going to go way wide. If you turn in too early, what I've found, at least driving the Audi, is if you turn in too early, you're catching way too much curb, you're going to unsettle the car, and now you're spinning.
Yeah.
So, I can agree with that sentiment 100%. Your pickage, chat says, Clueless Geezer will be the first to bin it today.
Yep. Yeah, I concur. That's probably true.
I am not going to...
He will be... Well, let me put it this way. He will be the first unassisted trip to the sand that we have today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There may be other crashes before him, but there will be his will be the first unassisted trip.
That's funny. So early times in... Right now, Christoph Arts with a 201 flat. Holding purple only in Sector 3, however. Chris Moses in second, holding Sector 2. And it looks like Scheffer into the pits. He's currently sitting third with a 201.4. Now sitting in fourth as Sean Heiner jumps up into second. Drops to the pits to make some changes. Wangle Snatcher as well with a 201.8.
I ran directly from the gym to up here to get the entry list sorted, so I'm going to go grab a snack real quick.
No problem, buddy. We will be here. Heiner, again, currently sitting in the pits, but holding Sector 1 and 2. Currently sitting in second. Has gone in to make those changes. Wangle Snatcher with a 201.8. DJ with our first 202 so far. We got a 202.1 in the blue Box 3 Porsche. So some contacts right here during our qualifying session. Yannick Kurtz now jumping up with a 2 minutes flat again sitting at 0.445, holding sectors 2 and 3. Lee King McGee into second, holding sector 1. Again, 2 minutes flat, 0.665. As always, as qualification rolls to an end, we get ready to start today's 90 minutes at Suzuka. We will run a poll. Get ready to vote on today's winner. We'll take the top 5 qualifiers and see who y'all think are going to win. Stay tuned for that. Chris Moses now jumps up into first with our first 2 minutes flat. And I mean flat this time. Great 2 minutes in that Mercedes AMG. Hurts, as you see in the M4. Still holds on to sector 3, just 0.4 off that pace. Cole Gress now jumping up as well into that 2 minute time frame. Right now our top 5 drivers all in the 2 minute time frame. Everyone works to set laps today. Most of our drivers have. Got a few that have decided not to as of yet, or have been unable to. Tom Foose being one of them. Again, one of our fastest Season 1 drivers. His last lap, but not clean at a 2:03. Be curious to see where Tom's able to end up during qualification. We've got a lot of new drivers. So there's always, you know, the start of a new season is when you get the biggest influx of new drivers and of new people joining the league. And so, you know, coming out of Season 1, Tom, again, one of our faster drivers, currently with no time set here at Suzuka. How does that bode for his race today and for the rest of the season? We don't know how some of these new drivers compare to those who were here for Season 1. So Tom, very fast. Will Green, another one of our seasoned drivers. And again, big ups to him for our fundraiser last weekend. He was fantastic in organizing that. But these guys are our fast drivers. How will they fare against the newcomers to the league, against the folks that we haven't seen drive with Box 3 yet? Up through those S-curves for Will Green right now. Yannick Kurtz now into third. Kevin Huffman getting himself up into 24th at this point with that 2:03.4. Brian Canopin clearing a path, letting some other folks by. Cars start to stack up. Chris Moses looking to set another fast lap, currently sitting on pole, but getting hung up in traffic. And there we go. Brian Canopin getting himself into second, 2/100ths of a second off of Chris Moses, our current pole sitter. Cole Gress still sitting in third with that 2:285. So as we say, you know, we talk about this every week. A lot of competition at the front of this pack. All the way down to P6 are currently sitting at the 2 minute mark. You have to go to P7. I'm sorry, the top 7 now, because Christoph Arts now jumps it in, and currently P7 now sitting and in that 2 minute zone. We have to go down to Andrew Haynes to see a 2:01, currently sitting P8. So a lot of tight competition. Oh God, no. I'd be, let's see, where would I be? Has anybody done as bad? Well, Galvin, right? That's about my speed right there. Galvin in the Lexus. Right? 2:08.3 right now. That's where
I
I
would
sit.
just like to point out, I don't know if you have it on stream, because I've got so many other windows taken up at the moment, but if you just look at that track map and all the cars that are currently on it,
Oh, I know.
it looks like an ant hive.
It does. It's
It's
insane.
crazy.
But it's so wonderful to see. I love this. I love it. I just hope, you know, again, I was talking earlier, Red, while you had stepped away, that we have a lot of newcomers this season. And I hope they get, you know, I hope they're listening, and I hope they get what Box 3, and I hope they've understood what Box 3 is about. We're community first, we're sim racers second. Accidents are going to happen. Get ready. I mean, look, 51 drivers currently on track. That track looks full, and you can tell by looking at the track map, there's at least 5 or 6 sitting in the pits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like everybody's on track right now. So this is going to be a very packed, very close race. And of course, we're going to do everything here to bring you every moment of the action. But my point is this, is I hope these guys realize we're community first, we're sim racers second. We want everyone to have a good time. Accidents are going to happen. Don't take it personally. Nobody is purposefully wiping anyone off this track, right?
True. It was a questionable re-entry I was watching. Sorry about that.
On a track this full, are any of the re-entries unquestionable? Because, like, there's only so much you can do, right?
Not a full penalty, but yeah, there was.
There's really only so much you can do. You sit and watch 8 cars go by, and you're like, okay, I can go now. And all of a sudden, there comes the next one around the corner.
Right.
And you were halfway out. And there we have right there Sean Piner, our first 159 of the day with a 159.807. Interestingly enough, does not take purple in any sector. We bring those times back up. Does not hold purple for any individual sector, but drops into the 159 range. Obviously able to get some clear air on this very full track today during qualification.
Was Greeny not running today?
He's
oh,
in
no,
there.
there he is. Okay, he's level at the bottom.
Yep. He has not yet set a lap. But Will Green, his fastest lap so far showing a 2:01.7, which would put him up into, let's see, that would drop him into about 19th, but he has not yet set a clean lap, so possibly getting hung up in traffic. Bryn Evans as well, having yet to set a lap today, along with Matthew Givens and Terrell Taylor currently sitting in the pits. Your boy Blue in the pits today, Chief Blaze as well. So Piner now able to change it out, able to pick up that 159, now down to a 159.4, also picking up purple in Sector 1 with a 39.7. Moses with that 2 minutes flat, still 0.6 off the pace. However, that just changed. There we go. The more 159s coming in. Let's bring up those times one more time. Brian Canopin jumps up there with a 159.5. And Will Green, who we were just talking about, had not yet set that clean lap, was obviously just looking for air with a 159.9. Qualifying's never over until it's over. And I know that sounds ridiculous when I say it, but it's never over till it's over. And we have 4.5 minutes left to go in today's qualifying session before we get ready for 90 minutes of racing here in Japan. Don't forget, folks, Season 2 continues next week. Alton Park Sprint Racing. It's a double sprint race, 2 20-minute races at Alton Park. I don't know if I'd want to do 20 minutes at Alton Park in a GT3 car. These guys will be here to do it for you.
We'll see how this week goes. I was thinking about maybe running that one just because
I like Holton Park, and it's two 20-minute races, so the chances I get lapped twice in one race is pretty slim, right? So
I don't know. Not my favorite. I don't like Olton. Just don't. And don't forget, folks, starting tomorrow, if you're not up for league racing, if you're not sure you want to see a grid this full, if you're not sure you want to run for points, if you're new to sim racing, right here it is. Euro Trips kicks off tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best to cover it here, given that the race is so short. It's kind of during my workday, but if I have no calls or anything going on, I can take a break, jump in. So maybe I'm gonna do my best to try and cover that here at Box3 Motorsports on Twitch. So stay tuned for that. I will do my best. Yannick Kurtz now jumping up into the top 3, taking sector 2 with a 159.7. So now we're up to 4 159 holding drivers. Moses coming in right at that flat 2 minutes. 2 minutes then stretches all the way down to P12. So much competition on track today. Rob Kezar with a 2-minute time. Wangle Snatcher sitting at a 2:01.045. He may be able to sneak under there if he can get another clean lap in with some open air today. With that said, Red, I'm probably going to take a quick step away. Let's go look at Kurtz here. Yannick Kurtz, high speed. This is that left-hander we were talking about earlier as he comes up to it now. Should notice, no braking. He lefts off and go. But again, if you miss that turn in that corner, you are going for a ride into that wall on the right. So something to keep an eye on during this race, and we will do our best to try and catch the drivers through that corner. Certainly not an easy one. We will leave you on board with Yannick Kurtz as I take a quick step away, Red, before the race kicks off, and we will be all set to get going. Right back, folks. And of course, Kurtz jumps back to the pits as we finish up. And I leave folks sitting there watching him. As everyone now comes into the pits. Qualifying finish. Let's bring those times up and see how it ends. Miner sitting up top. Brian Canopin in second. Kurtz in third. Moses fourth. And Will Green in fifth. That up. So not a lot of changes coming towards the end of qualifying here. All of our drivers in the pits. George Garton possibly moving up. Got himself into P11. Everyone else in the top 10 finished out or sitting in the pits at this point. There we go, folks. Hey, Red.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to buy followers? Apparently we can.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
just curious
Got
because
money?
the guy put it in the chat that we wanted to buy if we wanted to buy followers, so I just blocked it. Shut it down. Get ready for today's race. Take a look at the timetables again. So Piner and Canopin going to share row 1. Kurtz and Moses in row 2. Will Green and Arts row 3. Gress and Foose row 4. Sheffer and King Lee row 5. Garton Fernandez row 6. Wangle Snatcher Upkeesar row 7. Bryn Evans and Tobias Gable going to share row 8 today. Haynes Geezer row 9. See if chat's prediction for Geezer true. Votes in, folks. Who will today's winner be? So far, only one vote in for Brian Canopin. But a full docket, as you can see, 51 drivers on track today at Suzuka. Great to see. Get ready for the start of today's race. Don't forget, everyone, we're back every week. Next week, sprint racing, Olton Park. Going to be a lot of fun. Olton is not a wide track. It is not a wide course at all, so the pass is hard to come by.
There we go. And the session start is 2 minutes. Everyone should be happy about that.
Oh, good. Plenty of time to do setups, adjust those tire pressures, and get ready. Again, Piner and Canopin up front, followed by Kurtz, Moses, Will Green, and Arts sitting in row 3 right there. Gress and Foose in row 4. Sheffer, King Lee, row 5. Garton and Fernandez, row 6. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher, Rob Keesar are going to share row 7. Bryn Evans and Tobias Gable, row 8. Haynes and Geezer, row 9, with Weiss and Hosius, row 10. Murto, one of our newcomers. A lot of newcomers, including Piner, leading the pack today. Going to have that inside track in the Porsche heading down into turn 1 once our formation lap comes around and we get green lights. So Huff saying in chat, Red, that it was tough to get a lap in. Neuter agree.
Go figure.
Oh. It just seems like a lot. I don't know. 20 minutes doesn't seem long when there's that many people. That's just my thought. I'm not driving it, right? So
What is really a position or two in a 90-minute race when you're starting with your starting position? I mean,
True.
honestly.
true. Yes, we will be here for all 90 minutes. Now, is Red, I wasn't sure about this because I heard it before the race, but I wasn't sure that it actually stuck. Is there a pit window?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay.
I don't know that you see it from broadcast view, but there should be one, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we don't only showing there, but they all are required one pit stop. Philip Dolsham back to join us this season. Newcomer, Alex Cornfield. Guy Tempesta Racing, sitting 47th. Guys wait for the formation lap to get back to him. Amazing sometimes how long it takes the formation lap to start when there are this many drivers on track. As our front runners are already heading up through the S's. As always, folks, we do our best to bring all the action right here, but with this many drivers, it will be difficult to focus. Especially at the start of today's race. Here you see it though, an hour and a half, 90 minutes of driving at Suzuka today. I don't know how many drivers were looking forward to this race. We've already got some pit starters. Rick Pixel and Nikolai Tiabuk going to start from the pits today. No others thus far. Get focused back in here on our front runners. Muff SDR in chat said, let's go Crazy Rabbits Racing. John Piner. Long track for a full formation lap. So again, Pixel and Seabook starting from the pits today. Don't know if that was on purpose or if they had some sort of trouble during setup. Tom Foose making his way up into 8th. See the drivers coming up the hill. Awesome to see a grid this size on track.
Yeah, hopefully they're all that way, but I doubt that they will. We'll probably have a couple 20s here and there, but...
Oh, yeah. We head into the final chicane. Everyone getting into double file now, getting ready for that green flag to drop. Race session has started. We'll be checking for contact after we get a few laps in here and see if we can get some replays going. Piner and Canopin down into turn 1. We're going to catch it right here and see who can come out ahead. Piner going to take that inside line. How quick of a jump can Brian get off on him? Green, and we are going racing. Welcome to the next 90 minutes of your life, ladies and gentlemen. Piner pushing to the outside.
Making it 3 wide going into turn 1.
We are 2x2x2 up front as everyone heads up into the S's. Brian Canopin holding close. We've got yellow flags in the back. We'll go back and take a look in just a moment. folks off in the grass in the distance, but our front runners are holding. Brian and Canopin now getting passed by Kurtz on the inside. Brian gonna hold on though. This is where it comes in the S's. You can be side by side all day, but the corners reverse on each other. Giving Brian the advantage out. Will Green sitting up into 4th. Piner able to hold on to P1 coming up the hill. Kurtz right there looking to apply pressure to Canopin. Will Green as well. They stack into the hairpin. Too wide, no pushing yet.
Oh, little bump. No. Oh, yeah. Big
Yeah,
bump.
I
Back
saw
in the
that.
hairpin.
Yep, I saw. We just caught it. We're gonna go back and take a look.
Havoc.
Oh, don't say that.
It's pretty bad.
Bryn Evans able to get himself jump into 11th though.
Just let it roll.
Garten and Wangle Snatcher now gonna battle up the long straight into that fast left-hander. This is where it can get crazy. We got someone sideways back there. Weiss is sideways in the corner, now in the grass. Losing a good number of positions. Weiss yellow flagged again. Haynes dropping into the pits. But Piner...
Yeah, somebody was stopped. Somebody was stopped there at that the next to last corner there, and he got T-boned
perfect.
by Haynes. I don't know if there was anything he could really do.
Piner holding on to P1 with Canopin right there. Hertz and Will Green behind. We've got the top 7 drivers now running tight up through those S's again. Did he really? A lot of drivers in the pits now. Hosius, Gable, Haynes, Fernandez, Rodriguez, Huff. Hedgehog off track and is currently sitting, waiting for a clear spot to come back out. Check on Sheffer, though, with Bryn Evans right there behind him. And there will be some jockeying for... Oh, my God. We're going to try something real quick here, ladies and gentlemen, and see if this works. Check on some contact. Yeah, it didn't show it. Still not catching him. Oh well. Cole Gress now leading King McGee up the hill. And King McGee sliding into that corner. That's what we talked about, that fast left-hander right there. Let's go back.
Good job on him to get himself out of the racing line, though. He knew what he was about to do and ducked out of there.
Damn it. Yeah, he stayed himself right out, and that's, you know, kind of what we talked about and can cause serious issues, but King McGee getting out of the way. Good for him. Not good for him with the spin, but that's what we talked about during qualification. It's very easy to do in that corner if you're not on that right line, and getting himself out of the way is the best play you can make. So Piner now stretching his lead just to about 1 second over Brian Canopin. Kurtz as well, about a 1 second gap now. And another one to Will Green, but Will Green leading a pack of cars at this point, made up of Moses, Arts, and Foose. Tom Foose up into 7th. As we said, one of our season 1 drivers, very fast. And with a lot of unknowns on track, I was curious to see where he was going to land today. Checking our poll results, Piner winning that poll. He votes over Canopin and Moses. Right now we're watching Will Green lead Moses, Arts, and Foose up through Spoon.
Had some good battles back in 33 through about 29, I think. They're all pretty tight.
See that King McGee now leading Galvin, DJ, Blaze, and Soul.
Oh,
Galvin spun. Yes, we did.
Oh.
Let's jump back and see what happened there. Little too deep, and the push happens right there. Chief Blaze is trying to swing out of the way and ends up into the wall. That is a shame. Blanchette has dropped a bunch of positions as well. Thomas now under pressure from Boscato for P15. King McGee and Butler going to run side by side down into T1. King McGee able to get that pass, but can he hold on to it now? Going wide. Up into the S's, able to pull it off right before hitting that corner. Jump up into for battle for 13, Kesar and Steven. Even looking to go side by side. Nudges ahead. Able to clear Rob Kesar. Again, jumping up in the order, number 9, Justine Scheffer fighting off Bryn Evans right now. Will Green is yellow flagged. And right there it is. Let's jump back on Will Green real quick and take a look, because this is, again, we bring it up, but I think we're actually catching it proper this time from Will Green. This is where Red said we'd see problems, and there it is for him. Sliding off into the gravel. A shame to see that happen, but that's...
That right rear wheel off in the grass, trying to get just a little bit more.
Yep.
Swing into that corner.
100%. And Chalice now taking ahead of Aguilar, but into the dirt. Aguilar taking position back. We're again going to go side by side down into T1 for P18. Chalice able to nudge it out coming down the hill. That's a lot of cars he's leading. James Bessing right there with Brown, and Zap mixed up in it as well. James Bessing able to get around Brown. Chief Blaze, Taylor, and Pixel now all in the pits. As we continue to watch Bessing fight Brown off, trying to hold him at bay after making the pass. Yep. Another tight group with these guys, because Aguilar under pressure from Zap Brannigan. What do we have here? Butts off track. Let's jump back and take a look what happened. And a little bit of a nudge heading into the hairpin. Sends Butts off track. Garton now as well losing position. But Brian Canopin has closed the gap up to Piner. Piner had stretched this out to a little over 1 second, now under half a second. Brian Canopin getting a run up on him, and let's see if Piner can keep that Porsche under control up through the S's. We'll have to jump back though. Garton getting past Thomas and Pryor right there. 3 wide. Garton continuing to lose position. Let's jump up though, because Pryor able to nudge out Thomas. through T1. Cornfield again off track. Zap now getting ahead of Aguilar, with Bessing and Brown right there behind him. Oh, and James losing it into the sand, gonna drop position to Brown right there. That's all it takes is one mistake, folks. We've seen it before. Canopin losing a little time, but Kurt's taking advantage to close that up. As we saw earlier, you know, Canopin, the distance between 1 and 2 had stretched out to a little over 1 second. Got it. Canopin brings it up, gets it back under. That's starting to open up, but Kurt's now taking advantage and drawing that in slowly. As we take a look back, Moses about 3.5 seconds behind those guys, but leading a pack made up of Arts, Green, Foose, and Gress, all headed back down into T1. Pryor and Thomas again battling as well. So many cars on track, so many battles to try and follow, folks. Adam Thomas under pressure from Garton. Chalice right there behind him as well. Jump back a little bit. Dolshan and Silvaris now going to battle through the chicane down into T1 once more. Let's see who gets the jump heading into the straight. Looks like Dolshan's going to be able to hold on to this and stretching it out just a tad. Enough to maintain his current position. Aguilar and Brown continue to battle as well. Aguilar riding that Porsche. Brown right there in the Mercedes, however. Zap Brannigan off circuit, though. Let's try and see what happened to Zap.
Yeah, he got bumped there a little bit too, just trying to get out of the way.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, he did. Zap slowing down, getting a little bit of a nudge from people and losing position there. Check on Thomas, though, under pressure from Garton and Chalice now. As Bessie and Aguilar continue to battle back here. Oh, and another push through that high speed. We got 3 cars off track. Another jump back to take a look up the hill. All 3 of them come into the corner. Little door bang. That's all it takes when you want to be on your line.
Ah, yeah, just a little early turn in.
Yep, and Garton, the only one able to escape from that.
In the BMW tank.
Yep, James.
I think we can officially move the designation from the Lexus to the BMW.
As being
it's the new tank.
It's the new tank. James Bising now into the pits. Well, he'll be losing position. Check on our front runners again. Heiner continues to lead. Canopin now a little bit outside 1 second. Kurtz holding that 0.7, 0.8 deficit on him right now. Behind that, Moses sits with a significant gap. Art's back here now, though, with Will Green, Tom Foose, and Gress all right behind him. See all three of these drivers lined up, ready to take advantage of the slightest mistake. Will Green right there. Will looking to shoot the inside and not quite enough, but there again, you saw it, that bounce. And is Will Green going to take advantage? Puts himself on the outside of the chicane. Tom Foose looking to push up in it and join the fray. As we see Gress going way wide into the sand, he will not be continuing. And as he slides back and forth, almost causing an incident. And oh no, oh, that was close in the background. Arts continues to lead into T1, but Will Green's got the inside track and is able to take position right there. Tom Foose, a door bang, and Arts is spun by Tom Foose. Wow. So Will Green with the clean pass back there. Let's jump back and watch because, again, Art's going way wide, so Will Green able to take advantage of that, but then Tom Foose with the door bang, pushing him off track, and Art's losing several positions, including to Sheffer and Evans. So now Will Green up into 5th, gonna have to hold off Tom Foose. But speaking of some of our other drivers, Bryn Evans able to get ahead with Arts now right behind him. We've got more of a battle back here with Aguilar and King McGee. So many great battles today. King McGee sneaking around Aguilar right there. Zap Brannigan looking to take advantage as well. Porsche versus Porsche now. Shout out to Zap Brannigan, one of our graphics designers for the league. Fantastic person. Puts anything together you need. And right there goes Thomas off track, letting everyone by. Looked like he hung himself out, however.
That was a little bit. Just got a little bit.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no! What's going on up here? Jump back real quick. Fernandez. We got a lot of incidents back here. I saw 3 yellow flags all together. That can never be good. And there's the door bang and a push and a spin right there.
The front of that Red Bull car is pretty torn up going into that in the first place.
Yeah.
Probably not a situation he should have been in the first place if he's got that much damage.
King McGee tucks in behind Chalice around that high-speed left. We've seen several issues here today. King McGee able to squeeze out just a little more speed. You know, it's so hard though, and there he goes. He takes that position, but so hard because if you come through that left-hander a little bit faster, you're basically setting yourself up on the outside of the chicane coming up. But we've seen 2 successful passes so far today into that chicane because of how people set them up, getting the speed off of that fast left. Worked out really well for a few people. Blanchette now under pressure from Charlton down into T1. Able to hold on for now. Muff SDR says this is a great race. Yes, it is. Thank you, Muff, for being here. Send all your friends over. We want them to watch too. Just because GT3 racing is awesome, so not specifically for Box 3. But we're pretty awesome too. Don't forget, folks, !shop in the chat if you're interested in Box 3 merchandise. It's available now. We do it. Hoodies, t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever you want. I even have my own over there. You can order it if you want to. Called the Molson FL Stream shirt. I'm not wearing it today because I don't have one yet. Bryn Evans. Arts, there we go. We see it again coming out of that fast left. Arts on the outside into the chicane. And he bring it around, but Bryn Evans is going to be able to hold on to it. However, with this battle, Wango Snatcher's right there behind these guys. And he's going to look to capitalize as well. Red, did you order anything?
No, not yet.
I will say, I went sneaky around the backside, and I also got myself a baseball jersey. It should be here in a month. given where it's coming from. David Soul now with DJ right there. Let's watch another battle at this fast corner where we've seen so much trouble today. David gonna hold on to this time. Aguilar and Zap, again, this Porsche battle continues. And never mind that, well, we got Thomas right there and another Porsche behind him. As these guys fight down into T1.
No, it's on the list of things to do, order, get an order in, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, I gotta grab some more shit myself, just because I want more. And it'd be like that.
Vacation was this last month, so things are gonna be tight for a little bit.
There you go. Aguilar continues to hold Zap and Thomas as we watch this 3 Porsche battle take place. We got to jump up real quick, though, as Bryn Evans continues to feel pressure from Arts and Wangle Snatcher. Red, you convinced me. This fast left is my favorite now.
Yeah, I figured it'd be some action there. Got Brian dealing
Yes, we
with
do.
some back markers.
Well, we've got Brian Canopin now going side by side, taking first place away from Piner into T1, able to swoop the outside. Down, wrapping the corner up into the S's. Wow, let's watch that pass again real quick, because that was fantastic.
Back it up a little bit before that. I think it'll be interesting, too. I don't know how far you can go back.
Probably too late now. I should have gone 30 seconds, but we got it. Did get to see a fantastic pass, though. So Brian Canopin able to claim first place right there. Thank you for that catch, Red Rider. But Piner not going to give up. Sean keeping that Porsche right on the back end of Brian's Mercedes. And again, if you're Kurtz right now, you're sitting there back going, God, let these people crash so I could just take advantage. Right? Like, because he's tucking it in. He's getting so close. And he just needs that one mistake. But again, that's why Canopin and Piner are running in first and second, because they don't make those mistakes. And there, Sean Piner setting our fastest lap thus far, the first one to break under 2 minutes with a 1:59.9 during today's race. Obviously, we saw those times during qualifying, but now the first one to claim that purple lap under 2 minutes during the race today.
Wangle Snatcher and Arts.
I see that. Arts leading Wangle Snatcher right now, but just barely into Spoon. Who's going to have the speed coming out, headed up the hill?
I'm pretty content to let him keep it through there, apparently.
That's a corner I don't know if I'd like to push. Wangle Snatcher gonna tuck that front of that car up under and see, but nothing into T1. Galvin's struggling as well. That Lexus is not looking good as he struggles up the hill, trying to stay out of everyone's way. Obviously a ton of damage there. Letting everyone on by. Hosius and Fernandez as well going to battle. Bryn Evans now into the pits. Jump back up front real quick. Brian Canopin continues to lead over Sean Piner. Gap only opening to about 0.6 of a second, however. Brian continuing to feel that pressure. As we can take a look at his inputs here again as he comes into that fast left. Let's watch it. See those inputs in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Little bit of brake from Brian coming through there, which is not, I would say, normal. He's a lot faster than I am, though, so I got to trust his instinct. Maybe came in a little hot, right?
Could be. Could just be that extra rotation with the front tires getting worn. Who knows?
Yep. But Piner now down to 2/10. We're going to have a...
pulls a stop, though, for speeding in pit lane.
Who pulled it?
Car 15. Not sure who that is. I'm looking now.
Oh, and we got a bad spin right there. Hold on, back it up. I wasn't quite watching. I was trying to look at the list. We got a bad spin on for P1 and 2.
That's that beat up Lexus. I don't know.
And right there, Brian had to brake hard because of the Lexus. Had to brake hard because of that Lexus. And therefore, and then Piner ended up running into him, but I don't know that that's Brian's fault. Why is that Lexus not going into the pits?
Yeah, I was trying not to. I'm not in his car. I don't know if he's getting the meatball. It looks like he would be, but he may not have been quite. It may look worse than it is.
Well,
why wasn't he pitting after being limping around the track that long?
But let's take a look at something here. Hold on. Let's just take a look if I can find him. Why can't I find the Lexus? So there, Galvin is now in the pits, teleported, but his last lap was 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
I wonder if it was an issue. We'll find out. He's the one that pulled the stop go 30, so he went into the pits. I wonder if he didn't fix repair damage.
Gotcha.
And so it spit him back out with the damage, and maybe he was trying to figure out what was going on. I mean, that's why he was going so slow, maybe.
Gotcha, but
he pulled that stop go 30. He's the one I mentioned that pulled it, so...
All right, that's what happened. Possibly.
Yeah.
So we've had a huge toss-up here at the front of the race. He says, tried to go into pit box, but no box open for me.
Oh.
I assume that's neuter in the chat, so... We'll have to investigate that and see. But this causes a huge toss-up at the front because Yannick Kurtz now leads our race, able to get out of there relatively unscathed and able to pull 6 seconds over Canopin. Chris Moses, another Mercedes driver, into third with Piner now behind him sitting in fourth. So a huge toss-up that caused at the front of this pack.
Mistake wait before it happened, not to the drivers in front of him's fault. So
yeah, that is a shame right there because we had a great battle going on between Piner. You know, again, we say that all the time. It's a shame to see that when someone slides off track, and it is because it's such a great battle going on between Canopin and Piner. I wanted to see that continue throughout the rest of this race, especially given the pit stops coming up and everything going on. I think it would have been fantastic to continue to watch that. But can Kurtz maintain the pace to hold these guys off? Now, right now, Brian's playing defense against Moses and Piner, so he's not going to have the same lap time. So Kurt's stretching it out a little bit, now a little over 7 seconds. But if Canopin can get gap, if he can get himself a little space, we didn't see Moses. You know, Moses's fastest lap thus far is a 2:03. Canopin's a 2:025, and Piner, we know, had that 1:59.9. You know, Moses is the one in the hard position here because he's got to play defense against Piner, who had the fastest lap. Can he hold that pace? But also wants to get position against Canopin. So can Brian take advantage of that, get himself pulled ahead a little, not feel the pressure, and get caught back up to Kurtz?
Yeah. I don't think that'll be a problem for him. I don't think he's going to be paying attention to the guy behind him.
World-renowned esports driver? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Right.
Neuter saying, I don't know if I messed up pit controls or something, but that incident was 100% my fault. So, and listen, Neuter, don't kill yourself over it, man. It's sim racing. It's for fun. Again, we're a community first. These guys are going to be frustrated. They'll get over it. Okay?
When
And
Your
as long
crew
as
chief, pit crew, and driver, there's going to be some stuff that gets missed sometimes.
Absolutely.
It happens.
and you know
I
what?
think everybody here has been in that situation. Just try to put it behind you and concentrate on
100%.
what you got left.
And just learn from it and continue. You know, here's the thing you don't want to do. Don't leave the race. Right? Stay in the race, finish out. Right? And number one, and number two, learn from it so it doesn't happen in the future. You'll be all set.
For sure. Make it an experience moment, and you'll know what to do the next time.
Biscotto now moving up into 11th, getting around Steven. Looking like Garton want to take advantage of that as well.
Got Evans and Butler, fighting. Evans makes the pass.
Aguilar
Spoon.
off track. Thomas and Charlton as well up here. Right now we've got Givens and Aguilar. All kinds of position changing back here with back markers and everything else. Go back up front though, because Canopin, Moses right there. This is going to continue now for the rest of our race today. Canopin, Moses, Piner, Will Green, and Tom Foose now have all closed into this 1 second gap. We've got 4 drivers that are tightening it up very close to each other. As we check a look back at Piner, Will Green and Tom Foose are right there behind him. Coming down the hill, you see the stack of cars. Tom Foose in the white BMW. So again, Yannick Kurtz able to take advantage, but now hitting back marker traffic. So how long will he be hung up that allows Brian to close up the gap a little bit, while Brian at the same time continue worried about the drivers behind him? Tobias Gable and Bryn Evans now. Bryn shooting up the inside, taking the dive, and getting the nudge for it. Let's back that up real quick. Our next level racing replay right there. So Bryn looks to dive bomb into the hairpin, and Tobias giving him a nudge around the corner. Bryn gonna hold on to that position for now, but that looked like a bit of a dive to me.
That was a pretty good dive, yeah. And it slowed him down at the entry
Mm-hmm.
enough that I don't know that there was enough slowing down to avoid that, honestly.
Yep.
I don't think it was intentional. I think there just wasn't enough brakes to be had to slow down.
Oh,
You
and
have to overcompensate for that.
Garton able to get himself into 11th now. But Moscato and Steven into the hairpin. G. Steven in that green McLaren. Tucking up behind Moscato. King McGee right there looking to take advantage as well. We come up the hill. Biscotto leads Steven and King McGee. Biscotto getting a good jump out of that fast corner, opening that gap just a little bit. Now the battle going to become between Steven and McGee down into T1. We've got a battle up here, though. Will Green. What am I seeing? Will Green now ahead of Piner. But this is stacked up here. Brian Canopin leading Moses, Green, Piner, and Foose. We are getting into some traffic in the front, folks.
And as much as a pain in the butt as it is for them, I'm sure it is fun to watch this many fast drivers hanging around the top with each other.
It really is. But Piner now under pressure from Foose. Kurtz has stretched his lead out to over 8 seconds at this point over Brian Canopin. So many back markers. These guys have to weave through traffic. Not easy to do. And I just saw, and I don't know who it was. I didn't catch it, but one of the back markers slid off track into the soil to let these guys by. And I 100% get that feeling that you feel like you should do that. That is the absolute wrong thing to do. It really is, because there's no control. Once you dip tires into that grass or into that gravel, you lose a lot of control over your car. You could end up causing more problems than if you just waited for a straight and slowed down a little bit for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's what scares me is some of these guys go into corners, dipping tires into sand, and it's just, it's asking for an accident to happen. It really is. It worked
out in that case, but it doesn't always. So.
No, exactly.
You gotta remember, with Kurtz pulling that lead out, in that top 5, he's one of the few cars that doesn't appear to have damage because of that one incident. So that may be part of why he's able to, he's in clean air and he can pull away still because of that.
100%.
Guy's fighting with dirty air and damaged downforce. We'll see what happens after the pit stops. It may shake back up again.
Piscato now with G. Steven continuing to battle. And again, King McGee right there wanting to take advantage.
And our pit window is now open.
Pit window open for the next 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see a lot of position changing. And I'll be curious to see how this works out. I mean, if we see anything different, because all the racing I've done with Box 3 and the league prior, Red, that you and I both belong to, there was never a pit window. Right? It was just, hey, go to the pits whenever you want. And I'll be curious to see how it changes strategy. You know, how many of these guys dip in immediately? They're going to hit the pits right now that window's open, versus how many wait until the last possible minute, the last possible lap they're doing to dive into those pits as well.
Yeah, we'll see. It does make things a little more interesting because it kind of bunches everybody up headed into the pits at the same time. So. And there we go. Got a bunch of early pitters.
Yep, there's at least 4 or 5, 6 now into the pits. Sonic the Hedgehog off track.
You wonder how many of them were just waiting, hoping that would happen. Tires gone.
Right.
A little bit of damage, maybe.
Ooh, how come every corner I go around, I slide a little more every lap?
Who do I have to pay to get a pit window?
Right. Will Green and Moses both into the pits. Kurtz continue to stay out. Brian Canopin, Piner. We watch, this is where things get tricky because trying to keep an eye on things gets very difficult as King McGee now squeaks the inside around Steven. Take a quick jump back right there with our next level racing replay. King McGee into the chicane. Gonna take that inside line and get around Steven. Excellent move on his part. Very clean. And into the pits he goes.
I wonder if he got a track warning for that. He looked like he had all the wheels off through that.
Little tight, right?
Yeah.
Yannick Kurtz continues to lead as he stays out of the pits for now. But now King McGee, after passing Steven, Steven's into the pits, King McGee now applying pressure to Piscato, not wasting any time in taking on the next driver.
Trackalicious, there was a bit of an incident headed into turn 1 with some sort of a malfunction that a back marker left the pits and couldn't get his car didn't get fixed and couldn't get up to speed in time. There's a little bit of a backup and a little bit of a bang between Canapin and Piner. That's what happened. That's why he's not in first anymore.
Yeah.
Allowed Kurtz to get by.
Yeah, if he sees Neuter in our chat there, took responsibility for that incident, did his best, but apparently there was something with a pit box that prevented repairs from being completed. Piner now
Brian into the pits.
Into the pits, heads Canopin. So Tom Foose going to move up into third. These guys just holding on after that incident, I'm sure, waiting to get their repairs completed. And I don't know. Let me see something. I'm curious. We're going to look at this real quick, folks. Yeah, we get no info on pit times, so we can't see how long these guys will actually be.
Right. Will has pulled a stop go.
Oh, that's never good.
His pit stop.
Look here, though. James Bising. Remco Otten's going to battle now. See if either one of these guys come into the pits. That is James Nugget Bising heads downhill. They're both going to stay out on track, not opting to head in for pit yet.
So we have a battle between the Nugget and the Netherlands. Is what you're hearing?
That's apparently, yeah. Of all the Nuggets I've known, James is probably my favorite, though. I would say that.
Oh! Ottens loses a little bit going through that first part of the S's.
What did I miss here? Let's jump back real quick.
He
Take a
saved
look.
it, but he,
Oh, yes, he
lost
did.
time.
Yes, he did. That'll clear that battle for now. James Bising going to be able to hold on for a bit longer. Biscotto, though, comes out right in front of King McGee.
Will trying to clear that stop go ate the wall.
Oh, no.
Ends up teleporting directly to the pit box.
Oh. That is a shame to see. So King McGee able to clear Biscotto right there. Yeah, Trackalicious. It was a shame, and it was nothing malicious. It was nothing. There was something that went crazy. Was told no pit box available. Came back out with the damage, and I think what happened was he was staying off to the side. I mean, the guy was doing a great job. We saw him earlier in the previous lap doing a great job staying out of the way, like really doing what he was supposed to do. And unfortunately, just for some reason, Brian came down the hill, didn't realize how slow he was going, ended up hitting him. Obviously, Piner runs into Brian because they're racing so close, and it was a chain reaction. If you go back in the stream afterwards, you'll be able to see exactly what happened. Right there it is. Ottens clears James Bising. Nice smooth pass coming through that chicane. And, yep, there goes James. James not going to fight it because he knew he was diving into the pits, right? Like, why am I going to block this guy up?
Right.
David Soul with DJ heading uphill now.
Got a lot of stop goes and drive-throughs.
Really? They're not showing on the... I don't know why they're not showing on the... Usually they show on the times on the side of the screen. Take a look, though.
Got
Yeah, they're not showing for me.
One drive-through.
There they are.
Got a drive-through. Yeah.
Yeah, so taking a look there. Stop go 30 for Hosius. We got it for Chalice. We've got a drive-through for Santos. A lot of stop goes, a lot of stop go 30s.
And that pit board speed board is gone, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Oh, it always does.
Know. I did see it get taken out. It was not intentional, but that's also part of racing. Deal with
Yes, it is.
It's not fine, gone.
There's also a big line right there on the pavement, right? Like I'm not insane.
Line,
Yeah.
One pit entry will tell you where you're supposed to be slowed down by. A little bit of practice, you know.
100%. With that, and our race halfway over, as pit stops continue for the next 7.5 minutes, you know, it's very hard to read the screen because we've got faster drivers mixed in with slower drivers because of where they came back out. I'm going to take a quick step away, Red.
Cool.
We're going to put ourselves right on Yannick Kurtz, our current leader in today's race. Scheffer now up into second, obviously having not cleared that pit stop yet. Art's in the pits, currently sitting in third. Kesar sitting in fourth with Garten in fifth. But I'm going to take a quick step away, folks. We'll keep our focus right here on P1. He may head into the pits after this lap, but I will be back in about 2 minutes. We'll be ready to go for the continuation of the rest of this race. And I should just say before I go, I don't, Red, you might recognize this. Talk amongst yourselves, right? Verklempt. I'm feeling verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
Stop, go 30, trying to clear the drive-through.
Oh no!
That's tough. That's tough, buddy.
See, and this is one of those things, and I am gonna still take a step away real quick, but here's one of those things, like as a slower driver, as a guy who does this for fun and doesn't really care if he ever wins, whatever. I just want to have some hard racing and some fun with friends. That's what I worry about. And that's why I sit here versus driving with these guys. When I come into the pit, like once I hit pit lane, dude, I hammer down on the brakes. I get it down into first, and I make sure I'm at least close, very close to that pit speed before I hit that line. And I know so many people, they try to push that limit, right? I'm gonna go as far as I can and lock my brakes at the last second to carry as much speed into the pits as I can, but it gets you in trouble, right? Like it gets you in so much trouble.
For sure. If you're gonna play that game, you got to be willing to deal with the consequences of that game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just amazing to me to see that we're seeing this many today. Even with the sign gone, there's still a line on that track, right on the tarmac, right in front of the pit entry. Like you should. I think that's why they do that, right? The sign might get clipped.
Yeah, sure.
There's still a line here for you. PG says that fast corner is called 130R, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
PG, I'm terrible at corner names, so you'll have to excuse me for that.
I'm sure I'll remember that for the next 30
I
seconds.
mean, yeah, I'll forget. I also need a fourth monitor just to have a track map up in front of me. That's really what I need. All right, folks, as I said, I'm going to take a quick step away as we watch right there, Garton into the pits. Kurt's continuing to stay out. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the pit window, and we'll watch him race, and I will be right back.
Pull to stop and go. Rob has pulled to stop and go as well. We're speeding in pit lane. Enough of these guys do it, it won't matter. It'll all be an even playing field again. Our leader has pitted. So as we shuffle things up, and Scheffler has pitted as well, so that should put Piner back in first place again. Once everything updates and he comes across the start-finish line. Maybe not. Still puts him behind Kurtz. He had such a cushion there.
Rob Kesar pulling a stop go 30 as well, I see.
Yeah, and our leader has pitted, but he had such a run that it's still got Piner in second, Foose in third, and Scheffler in fourth, and Brian in fifth.
I see Brian Canup in currently running in fourth. He's moved up.
Okay.
Able to get around Scheffler.
Hasn't updated for some reason. Then.
Yeah, it's in the software. That's why I sent you that link, man, because it's a little more accurate, it seems. I don't know if it pulls it live or what it does, but
the big thing I'm taking away from that is Kurtz had so much of a lead that he made his pit stop and is still in front.
Yep. Good. Now, come on, Pickage. I knew Spoon. I said Spoon a couple times. Don't
Yeah,
pull a TG on me.
said-
Right, you're going to
we've said
TG me.
Spoon a few times.
Aguilar and Otten's now a little bit further back in the pack, but now only 2/10 between them. Otten's running hard up into Spoon, speaking of which.
Maybe we're just throwing out random facts. We're just supposed to work our way backwards around the track, naming the corner.
That's what happens. I'll learn them
So,
eventually.
So the next person in chat, I'm gonna need the corner before Spoon.
Before
Go ahead,
Spoon.
name that one.
Yep,
And,
we need that
you
one
can
next.
You can decide who goes after that.
TG's out there driving, and I guarantee we'll have an answer for you within 30 seconds.
Probably.
I don't know how these guys do it. I've seen them before. As we watch, Ottens gets the inside into the chicane, takes that position.
Thanks. Appreciate that. I needed that one.
Pickadippy got it. Good job. Excellent job by Ottens right there, though, to clear Aguilar, getting around him very quickly.
Huffman with the meatball in chat.
Aguilar and Kesar now gonna battle. And again,
We're
we're
trying to get through these guys just to catch up with Kurtz.
got a three-way Porsche battle back here, though. Not really a battle, though, as that third. Yeah, that's Piner. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize the car right away.
That's tough. You got two guys in front of you battling for position, and all you want to do is get around them.
Yep.
So far, it's been all about timing for Kurtz. I mean, it's happening, and yeah, they get into each other.
There we go. Kesar able to get ahead. Pull ahead of Aguilar. Piner and some door banging going on, but Piner able to sneak by. It looks like Aguilar backed it off. He realized what happened and slowed down.
I think he was trying to give him all the room he could and hit that curb, and it bounced him into him. I don't think there was anything intentional
Brian
there.
Canopin now into the pits. Did he need to make another stop? I thought he was already in.
Had an issue. Yeah, he was already in. There was no drive-thrus for him. He must have just had an issue.
Yeah, so Brian Canopin now back into the pits, but Piner in second. But Piner now 12 seconds off Kurtz's pace.
Yeah, that little battle in front of him cost him about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it did. James Bising now showing off track. Aguilar getting ahead. See how long he holds it with Gress and Tobias Gable right there are going to apply pressure coming down into T1. Looking like Tobias has a huge jump in speed. He caught up with those guys very quickly. Right now, the main battle between Aguilar and Gress. Oh, Huffman chat says wheel disconnect on Crow.
Ooh.
We got Manu in the chat, Mr. B99. Livery maker extraordinaire as Gress is able to move up on Aguilar right there. Also got a battle back here between DJ and Fernandez. Another Porsche, this time with a Beamer. A little wide on DJ's part, but not quite enough for Fernandez to capitalize on.
Pure package. You can't give two-track corner names. You got to let somebody else go, man. Sorry. That's the way this works.
Crow says wheel disconnect, not my day. That's a shame to see. And I got to tell you, Crow, excellent driving. You made the pass, you got into P1, and that incident that hung you guys up, apparently, you know, from what we're seeing, not anybody's fault. It's not something anybody did. You know, he tried to make repairs, tried to do the right thing, and it just did not work out, unfortunately. but understandable how you came downstream into him, given how slow he was going. All of our drivers now relatively spread out on track. Your boy Blue goes sideways. Let's check on him real quick. See if we can see what happened to Blue. Up through Spoon, goes wide, and that curb just sends him on a tilly into the grass. So as we see
Looks
things,
like he should have put some more batteries in the back. That
Probably.
probably would have anchored the car better. And had a couple heavy batteries back there.
Fernandez is well slowed down, loses position to DJ, now up into 15th. Amos getting caught up on by Charlton. But let's take a quick moment, folks. Don't forget, this is only race 1, Suzuka, 90 minutes. But we are back next week for sprint racing at Alton Park. 2 20-minute races at Alton. Make sure y'all join us right here. Same bat channel, same bat time, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, with the time change coming up soon. To check on that because I didn't think the time change was that soon. We shall see.
I think it is, but I
Is it?
can't be positive.
Yeah, it can't be positive. You pay attention to the graphic, folks. That's what the rule is. Pay attention to that. 7 p.m. UTC. Could be probably 2 p.m. Pacific. They change earlier than we do. That's why. So it'd still be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sprint racing at Alton Park, followed by Brands Hatch, a standard race. 45-minute race, 20-minute qualification. And again, if you're watching this and you want to race, okay, and you say to yourself, I want to race, but I just don't know if this is for me. Like, it seems so much pressure. Look at this. We got you covered. Casual racing. Euro trip kicks off tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join, drive these tracks with the league. Exclamation box in the chat will get you over to the Discord. Come have fun because these are casual races. That's why it's being set up to give people an opportunity, maybe who are new to sim racing, who might not want to jump into a league race where there's a little bit more pressure, right? This is what it's for. So we've got scheduled out through March, April, into the first week of May of casual races over at Box 3. And don't forget as well, we've got an endurance series coming, pairing up with 949 and Trackalicious, who is in our chat today. Endurance racing. And working with Huff, we're looking at a 24-hour endurance race coming up sometime in April. Stick right here because you're going to love it. And even though right now we have no broadcast, I am going to remind everybody real quick, Xbox Racing exists at Box 3 as well. We just finished Zandvoort yesterday. Next week, Misano, another sprint race. We are doing our best on the Xbox side to emulate the real GT Europe season. Misano comes next week as a sprint race, a 1-hour sprint, followed by the week after, March 19th. And Red, I'm really hoping we can have some coverage for this because we're going to need it.
I hope so. I hope so. I get that fixed.
Spa Frankenchips, and I've been assured that that is how it is pronounced. Spa Frankenchips. Endurance race. That's actually a 4-hour endurance race, but we're going to 6x the time. So it's going to be a 24-hour race in game. Two driver teams. It's going to be a fantastic thing to see. So make sure you come back. Hopefully we can get some coverage for that. And Red, I'm happy to join you. I just don't have an Xbox. I'll have to watch the stream with you.
Right. Well, I mean, if we can't get anything but chase cams, it really doesn't matter anyway. So
Yeah, true.
it's not just the person to stream it. They need to get their act together and give us our broadcast cams back over there.
Which they broke with the update, so that's fantastic. I love
Yeah.
it. My favorite. We are back to live racing right here. Aguilar now under pressure from newcomer Blanchette, heading up into 130R. I know that now. Thank you, TG. You know what? I love Tobias. I really do. TG running currently in 24th on track today. And I say that because TG is happy to tell you things. He's happy to explain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Let's jump back real quick, though, with our next level racing replay. Grass getting around Brown, headed down into T1. Very smooth on the inside, able to claim that position, moving himself up into 20th. Excellent job there.
Huffman says Easter weekend Saturday endurance. chat.
That's what I'm saying. We talked about, Huff and I talked about it. I'm not going to give a date. I'm not going to give a date. That'll come. But I will say, Huff, in the chat, I will let you know I'm good on this end. So roll with it, my man.
And Crow, I don't think anyone's really accusing you of rage quit. There was some issues there. Wheel disconnects. Yeah, I get it. There's no reason to feel like you have to continue at that point when you're having technical difficulties with your equipment.
And there's one thing. To me, there's a difference between the gentleman who was in the chat who, I say caused in quotes. He didn't cause the incident. I don't think it was his fault. But my point being is he was on track there, right? The Lexus driver.
Sure.
I didn't want him to quit because it's, he probably feels bad, very frustrating. Your instinct is to quit. Don't quit. But with a wheel disconnect, to me, that's a different thing. You're like, my hardware doesn't work anymore. What am I supposed to do? Right?
You got to restart the game.
Yeah, it's just at that point, I can understand wanting to step away.
Restart the game. That's a 30-minute process. So.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It involves a shaman, and there's a fee, and it's a whole.
It's a whole thing. Watching here though, Blanchette now taking the corner on Aguilar, very smooth, and Blanchette moves himself up into 22nd. Fantastic pass right there.
Made the decision he didn't want any of that in that corner.
Absolutely. 100%. Great pass right there, though. We're going to take a quick jump up, though, as Keesar under pressure from both Ottens and Gress. Obviously, Ottens under the greater pressure right now, up through the S's. You can see it there. Rob Keesar able to pull away a little bit, getting over a 1 second gap over Ottens, as Ottens has to fight Gress off, keep that Porsche at bay. Another battle ahead, though, as we jump up. Soul now keeping Fernandez at bay for now, but Fernandez taking a little bit on the grass, dipping 2 tires into the green, not quite able to pull it off, but right there it is. He's got the speed and takes takes Soul. Fernandez takes Soul. Bruce Spoon headed up the straight now into 130R. I got that. I'll never forget that now, Red.
Oh, good for you. I will not remember. I already know.
Both drivers able to keep it in check around that corner. As Ottens and Gress continue to battle back here.
Oh, Gress goes a little bit wide there.
You giving Ottens a bit of a break?
Not for long.
Not for too long. Have to keep an eye right ahead of this too, as Givens is now under pressure from Keesar. Check the times up front, though. Piner still 11.2 off of Kurtz up front. The gap's closed a little bit. It was as wide as 13 seconds the last time I looked. So a little bit of a close up there, but not enough at this point with only 25 and a half minutes left to go.
It seems that McLaren that Ottens has just really does not like these S's. Maybe that's a McLaren thing. I don't know.
That might be an Ottens thing, because it's certainly an Adam thing. I can tell you that. In the Audi.
It looks like Gress is going to try to make the move on the inside. Oh, doesn't quite have it. But Ottens goes off into the sand and gives it to him right there.
Right there. Gress able to sneak through. Well, no, we're going to door bang on our way up to the hairpin. Ottens has the inside. Ooh, the battle is raging. Otten's able to hold on for now. Otten's feeling that. Oh, and a door bang to the outside. Gress telling Ottens it's mine. Otten's not happy with that, but we're gonna go side by side up into 130R. Super high speed. We got 3 drivers tucked up on each other. And Otten's able to take it there, but Gress down into it. No. Is he gonna get the inside of that chicane? Otten's into the grass. Oh!
Go wide. Just lets him have it. Knows he made a mistake.
Yep. Otten's knows he let him by.
Now he's got to deal with Aguilar, I believe. Or is that...
Right now we got to jump up down to T1 though. Givens with Kesar right there behind him in his Porsche 992, number 992. And Gress now going to catch up to this pack as well. We're going to get 3 cars battle in here. Fantastic battles today. Oh, and right there it is. Kesar and Gress both able to sneak by Givens. Just like that. It takes one mistake. And now Gress ahead of Kesar. As this battle continues, everybody's slowing down. Ottens catches up to the pack. Otten's able to clear Givens as well. I want to say that's Foose tangled in with him, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Tom Foose tangled in amongst all these back markers trying to battle each other for position. Tom Foose currently sitting in 3rd, sitting here going, what is wrong in my life that I have to deal with this? But at the same time, they're battling. You can't just ask them to get out of the way, right? I watched it yesterday. There was a league yesterday. I watched one of our drivers racing it. It was the 9 Hours of Silverstone, and I watched it happen to him. He cleared room for as a back marker to let the faster driver through, and the person battling him for position snuck right through with him.
Yep, right through with him.
Yeah, like, and I mean, as a driver, you can't. I want to give you this up, right? I want to let Tom by. I want to let Foose get through here. I cannot take the chance that that's going to open the door for my direct competition, right?
Right. There is no gentleman's agreement at that point.
No, 100%.
I think he chose the right spot. Maybe if he can get down there and get it shut down, though. Maybe.
Oh, whoa, whoa! And we got bad stuff here. Let's back it up real quick. Get that replay up between Zap, Tobias, Gable, and Aguilar through the chicane. Gable bouncing Aguilar. Zap dipping to the outside, hitting the grass. So Tobias able to hold on, but definitely a bounce right there. That will be reviewed by stewards, but let's jump back up here. Kesar and Ottens are going to battle once again. Bro, thank you so much for that sub, my man. Thank you for supporting the league.
Thank you for the kind words as well. We all know that I'm just riding along with Molson here. This is his speciality. I'm just here to try to help out and find the tight battles where I can.
Otten's getting the sneak by Kesar. Blanchette and Butt's gonna go to it now. Ryan Blanchette, one of our newcomers this season. Welcome to Box 3, sir. Gerald Butts, Team 030C. Closing in quickly.
Crow, he got confused though. That's the wrong grass. This is the portion of the yard he was looking for.
Not at all. Ottens and Kesar are going to continue to battle. Why do I feel like we're going to see Ottens and Rob battle throughout this entirety of Season 2?
It seems that way, yeah.
Why do I see that coming? Fernandez now sneaking past Thomas.
Guys stick around. That's going to be the case of a lot of them.
Let's check up front real quick while we've got a moment here. Kurtz continues to lead. Piner sitting in second with 13-second gap. Tom Foose obviously getting hung up in back markers for quite a bit there. We watched the battle. Tom trying to get his way by as best he could. 16 seconds, total of 30 seconds off the pace from Kurtz. Scheffer sitting in 4th right now. Humphrey Wangle Snatcher, which I gotta go back and look because Wangle Snatcher, where did he qual? Wangle Snatcher qualling, nowhere near the top of this pack. Again, a great driver, but not qualling real high today. Currently sitting in 5th. Minding his business, working his way to the front, right? Hey, Red.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't want to be the stewards this week.
No, probably not. Although nothing's been horrible. Nothing's been.
I'm just looking at the list
Hey,
of contact in my software.
We gotta pull this guy to the side and tell him not to do that again. It's all been fairly up and up, I think, that I've seen anyway.
It has, yeah. Racing incidents, right? I mean, they happen. Doesn't mean penalties aren't applied, but it's one of those things where things happen. David Soul running strong today, currently sitting in 14th. Blanchette and Butts continue to run close back here. I like how the guy in the helicopter doesn't know to stay focused on the car I told him to and like whips to the side as they go under the bridge. Scheffer, Jostein Scheffer having a great race today, getting himself up into 4th. Best lap of a 2:01.127 today, but again, much like Wangle Snatcher, keeping himself out of trouble, maintaining the consistency has paid off. Sitting just off a podium today. Otten's now getting ahead of Rob Kesar, but able to open the gap just a bit.
Yeah, but he's got to deal with that back marker in front of him, so that could go either way.
True enough. But so far, doing well to open that up. Silveris now yellow flagged along with Taylor. Taylor's sitting on the side of the track. And we catch what happened here. Through Spoon, throwing a little too much heat into her, coming out of it, and spins himself off into the dirt. Jump back up to Ottens and Kesar. We started today with 51 drivers, now down to 41. Remco Ottens, as we watch him come down into T1 one more time. Heiner continues to hold fastest lap today, the only 159 during today's race. We saw several during qualification. He's the only one being able to pull one so far during the race today. But still a 13-second gap up to Yannick Kurtz. Kurtz able to get himself ahead after an incident in T1 involving a back marker and has been able to hold on since then, continuing to maintain that gap. Great driving on his part. Don't forget, folks, we are back next week. Sprint racing at Alton Park. Pro Class champ this season wins a Next Level Racing FGT Light. Thank you so much to them putting up that prize. Thanks as well to Coach Dave Academy. Silver Class champion will win a full car setup bundle. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. From Coach Dave and our most improved driver as voted on by the community. Want to be able to win that one track map bundle from Coach Dave. Again, we're back next week for Olton Park. Brands Hatch after that, one of my favorite tracks. Now, mind you, when we look at this schedule, American DLC, which you'll see twice right there, those will be replaced by other tracks. That DLC apparently not dropping in time for this season. Apparently incoming, but we haven't seen anything about it yet. And again,
Trying to polish all the rough edges off.
yeah, and again, starting tomorrow, Euro Trip starts. Casual racing at Box 3 Motorsports. Starting at Donington. 15-minute qual, 30-minute races. I'm going to do my best to be available and cover those races right here on Twitch for our Euro Trip fellas. And Huff in the chat saying they have already been replaced. Huff, tell the people what they want to hear. What are those, what tracks has that been replaced with? Because I haven't seen the graphic yet, so that's probably on me as we jump over to Biscotto and Arts now. Arts looking to close in on Biscotto and see if he can gain a position. But again, at Red, I go back to it. We're going to see this all season. Ottenson, Rob, Kesar are back at it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never left that spot. Gotta keep an eye on my teammate from last season.
Bryn Evans now pulling a drive-through for track limits. He'll be taking a dive into the pits. Bryn currently sitting in 27th, but right here, Ottens and Kesar battling for P18. But we'll have to keep an eye because, again, Biscotto and Arts closing it up as well. As Kesar looks to nudge it on the inside. Remco going very wide, but not enough. Not enough of an opening.
A fake move, and I think it worked, but I think he didn't. I think Rob, being he, didn't quite get what he had hoped to make stick there, and took too much curb.
Gotcha.
He could have had it there. I think that was never intended to be a real move. He was so far back, but it made Ottens flinch. It looked like.
Well, there you go. The American DLCs have been replaced with Paul Ricard and Zolder. Paul Ricard, I know, Red, one of your favorite tracks.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
100%,
I was thinking it was,
right?
but I wasn't going to say anything because I couldn't remember. I might be at both of those. We'll have to see how my schedule works out. I enjoy both of those tracks.
I know Paul Ricard is absolutely one of your favorites. Take a look here, though. Soul battling Charlton down into T1. Soul holding on for now, but let's see how they hang through the S's. Also got another one right behind them. DJ and Gress right behind these guys. What is with the Porsche battles today as Gress shoots the inside and is able to take it from DJ just that quick. Nice clean pass coming up through those S's. I don't know how he holds the speed. I can't do it. Good on Gress for that. Nice.
Well, the Porsches are a class of their own, so the only real competition they can find is when they race with themselves.
Other Porsches? Okay.
Yeah.
Jump back up. Soul in his McLaren battling Charlton in that BMW. Able to stretch it out just a tad now as we jump back. Ottens and Kesar are going to go to it again. So now we see it coming. So if we jump back here to David Soul, David Soul is now leading Charlton, and I know we can't see much here, but Charlton, Gress, and DJ all within 1 second of each other throughout this pack. As we come into the last 10 minutes of this race, things are going to start to tighten up with some of these drivers. King McGee into the pits now. With Charlton and Gress tightening up. Just under 10 minutes left to go in today's race. Thank you so much to everybody for being here. Thank you for joining us. You can expect this every week. We are here every Sunday for GT3 racing. next week. Alton Park, certainly not one I want to race at. David Soul now leads this pack with Charlton and Gress right behind him. Gress waiting for that opportunity, waiting for Charlton to make that mistake. And there it is, right there. Charlton blows, or Soul, I'm sorry, Soul slides off track, allowing Charlton, Gress, and DJ all to sneak by very quickly. And again, Gress taking advantage as well, getting ahead of Charlton, moving into P13. And now Charlton going to have to deal with DJ behind him. So Piner unable to close the gap to Kurtz, however. That gap, just as we talk about, we want continue to watch this battle. That gap now open to just about 15 seconds. So Kurtz finding clean air. Piner not able to close in on him at this point. However, continues to stretch the gap back to Tom Foose, currently sitting in third, to 23 seconds. So obviously Piner with the pace, but not able to close in on Kurtz at this point. Blanchette off track now, letting butts around. Check on our favorites. Ottens and Kisar back here continue to battle. Carlton DJ coming through the chicane now, heading into T1. Looking like DJ going to close in on him. Just over 7 minutes left in today's race. Givens, King McGee, and Brown back here in a quick battle shaping up. King McGee able to get around Brown heading downhill. King McGee on the inside and takes the pass. Excellent racing right there as Zach Brannigan loses position, being off track to Aguilar. But now Givens holding Brown at bay in the Mercedes. Uh-oh, and DJ off track. Let's jump back real quick and take a look. What did we miss here? DJ hooking curb and sending himself into the wall. That is a shame to watch. My goodness. Red Rider with the gift sub. Thank you, sir. Hernandez now closing in on Pryor. But Soul now going to feel pressure from Ottens, Kisar, and DJ as these guys start to bunch up here at the end of today's race. Tobias Gable and Brown battling as well.
Yeah, this is about to get real curious here real quick.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, somebody loses it in front of them. Nice job holding up and staying off track. My goodness.
Gibbons, Gable, and Brown. Sounds like a law firm, but they're heading through 130R. These guys tighten up into the chicane. Gable looking to shoot to the inside. Brown, though, right there with him. Very tight. Soul, Ottens, and Kisar as well. We got another battle up here.
Yeah, Soul and Ottens were side by side.
Yeah, I've been watching them and not quite giving it up. But Fernandez now as well, getting ahead of Pryor up front for P10.
Oh, DJ pulls the drive-through for track limits.
Oh. pushing hard at the end of the race. Under 5 minutes left to go, almost down to 4. Givens and Tobias Gable. Tobias pushing on the back end. Oh, and a little bit of a slip. We saw his back end smudge out on him, just giving Givens a little bit of a break. Also letting Brown tighten that back up. Take a look, though. Soul, Ottens, and Keesar. Keesar and Ottens again. We've seen this battle several times today. Who's going to have the speed coming up the hill? And put the challenge with David Soul.
Bobble there.
Saw that. A little warble.
Fast steering to try to keep Rob behind them.
Ottens and Keesar. The battle of the century is going to come down this whole season here at Box 3 Motorsports. Two very, very matched drivers. We've seen it before. I think we're going to see it a lot this season. As Charlton continues to try and hold Soul, Ottens, and Keesar at bay. DJ heads in to serve that drive-through, losing at least 4 positions. Excuse me, 4 positions so far, but Givens and Gable still continuing to battle back here.
Otten's trying to make the move around the outside of Soul. Oh,
pushed into the sand.
Sand. Rob's gonna try to sneak by him too.
Oh boy. So Soul continues to hold on. Ottens and Keesar battling. Tobias Gable not quite able to clear Givens quite yet. You know, at what point, and I still ask myself this question, at what point does it go from an endurance race to a sprint race? Because there's a switch that gets flipped during these races. We've seen it every time.
8 minutes ago, I would say. That's probably...
That's where it is, right? Like the 10-minute mark, the 10 to 12 minutes?
It would seem they decided it was time to go racing about 8 minutes ago.
Right? Soul holding on. Otten's looking to take the inside. They're all on Charlton. How many we got coming through? Somebody's offline. Way out wide.
All offline except for Rob. Is this going to be his chance?
Oh, and there it is. Let's back it up, though. Who do we lose? Keesar.
No.
Back that up real quick as we come up the hill. Wow, Soul and Keesar both yellow flagged.
That's
way wide, and the door bump is what causes it right there, and sliding off into oblivion. And Ottens comes out alive. Charlton, Soul, and Keesar both dropping back hard.
Probably could have done a better job if you're the inside driver trying to get back on track quicker. You were way, way, way off track. But...
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Rob
Check
just
on.
barely gets by the...
Oh, and Tobias Gable was yellow flagged as well.
Yeah, he's got some damage to the front of that car.
Right there. Oh, right there it was. Turned into. Not something he could have controlled.
I wonder if that back end of that Bentley stepped out. There was no reason for him to squeeze down that hard.
Yeah, but now Otten's going wide, losing position on Charlton. Let's jump up front because Wango Snatcher defending P5 right now from Moses. And that's what happens, right? That 10-12 minute mark is where everybody decides, okay, time to race. Let's go.
Right.
Back marker sliding out of the way. Wango Snatcher continuing to defend right to the end.
The leader has finished the race.
And our leader, your winner today, Yannick Kurtz, has finished the race. Piner coming up quick, going to hold on to P2. And there it is. Tom Foose will wait as that comes in, as our results continue to trickle in. Wangle Snatcher playing defense to hold on to P5 right now. Not over for everybody, though, as Biscotto Garton with that car tucked up right under as these guys start their final lap.
Still in a battle with Ottens. He's trying to get him the last corner here. He may have done it. Oh, no. Okay. He did
And a push
no,
from
no.
Ottens right there, and Charlton
I
ends
don't
up
know where Ottens
sideways.
is supposed to go. He tried
Yeah.
to squeeze him out to the curb. I don't know what he want. Where he was out of the throttle. Where is he supposed to go?
And Charlton falling back hard. Ottens finishing out the race in P14. Jumping up the Wangle Snatcher, continuing to defend. And right there, a door bang. And Moses able to sneak around with that door bang coming down across the line. Moses taking P4.
Boy.
Wow.
The feeling is an alternate that
Right
I'm
there.
going to be putting a lot this week.
Wow, what a bang right there. You just saw it again, folks. Quite the door bang coming in there. Biscotto and Garton continue to battle coming towards the end of this race.
Yeah, man, you're not kidding. 90 minutes bump each other the last corner. Oh man.
Wow. Can Biscotto hold on coming near the end for P7? And yes, Biscotto move up into P6. Whoa, wait a minute. Why is my shit going crazy? There it is. Biscotto holding on to P7 over Garton just barely. Let's throw those times up real quick. Yannick Kurtz holds on to win today's 90 minutes at Suzuka. Piner right there in second with the fastest lap today. Sheffer in third. Moses fourth. Wangle Snatcher coming up and getting himself into fifth with Arts in sixth. Biscotto, Garton, Fernandez, and Pryor finish out your top 10. My goodness, there at the end though. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was interesting, but yeah.
Woo. That was crazy. That was a crazy end of the race, I gotta say. I'm not no lying. That one was a little nuts, Red.
Yeah, that was intense for the last couple laps.
I'd say so, right? Well, folks, I want to thank Red Ryder for joining me here. He is the man, the myth, the legend himself. And overall, a fantastic human being. I can say that much at least. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Don't forget, again, I'm going to do my best. I can't promise yet. I'm going to do my best. We're going to be talking Euro Trip tomorrow. Come and join us for a quick 1-hour stream. If you want to watch casual racing here at Box 3 Motorsports, and come join us. Again, exclamation point box in the chat. Come and join that casual racing if you don't feel like you're ready for league racing yet. And we're back next Sunday, Alton Park Sprint Racing, 100%. Thank you so much to Red Ryder. Thank you to everyone for organizing. I love you guys. You're all fantastic. Everybody have yourselves a great weekend and a great week at work or whatever it is you got to do this week. I want to thank you all for being here. We will talk to you. We'll talk to you very soon. How about that? Thank you.
To say they want me to pay attention, but never ask me if I wanna stay. Word after word, I feel the rising tension, but you wanna open up. Oh, it's okay if it's fun, but it's not, 'cause I don't really wanna talk. No wonder why you're alone. I let you to go.